Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we're tackling how to totally crush it in your next Hydrogenation Machine Operator interview. We're talking about those curveball questions that could make or break your chances.
Absolutely. And we're bringing you the latest intel straight from RoleCatcher's just released October 2023 Career and Interview Guide.
Seriously, it's like having a cheat sheet for success. And I'm kind of amazed by some of the insights.
Right. Like, who knew that even knowing a bit about public safety and security could give you an edge in this field?
Okay, so let's paint a picture. You're in the interview room and they throw this at you.
Yeah.
What experience do you have with hydrogenation machine operations? What's the key to making your answers stand out?
It's all about going beyond just listing your past jobs. Think how and why.
I like that.
So let's say you've worked with these machines before. Instead of just saying, I was an operator for X years, dive into specifics. Did you handle a really high volume of batches? Were there any times you were recognized for being super efficient or maintaining top-notch quality?
I bet RoleCatcher's AI can help with that, right?
Absolutely. It can actually analyze those job descriptions and pinpoint the exact experiences from your resume that will pack the biggest punch.
That is so smart. Okay, but what about those who were just starting out? Maybe they haven't had the chance to wrangle a massive hydrogenation machine yet.
That's totally fine. Even without tons of hands-on experience, you can still highlight relevant stuff. Think back to internships, lab work, or even volunteer positions where you might have worked with food processing equipment. It all adds up to show you've got the basics down.
That's a relief. Now let's talk safety. This question is a guaranteed appearance. What safety precautions have you taken while working with hazardous chemicals? What are they really trying to gauge here?
It's more than just reciting safety rules from memory. They want to see that you get the why behind the what. For example, the RoleCatcher Guide dives into the PSM standard, that's Process Safety Management. It's a big deal set by OSHA. Brushing up on that and really understanding those principles shows you're serious about workplace safety.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, next question. How do you troubleshoot and resolve issues with hydrogenation machines? This feels like your chance to really shine and showcase those problem-solving skills.
100%. Think about it, machines, especially these complex ones, are bound to have hiccups now and then. What sets you apart is how you handle those situations.
So how do you prep for that?
RoleCatcher actually has this really cool AI feature where it simulates an interviewer asking this very question. You can practice your answer, and the AI will analyze it and give you feedback. It even helps you structure your response using the STAR method: situation, task, action, result.
Whoa, it's like having a personal interview coach in your pocket.
Yeah.
Okay, you've got your answer structured, but what kind of example should you give? What would really impress them?
Think back to a time when you faced a real head scratcher. Maybe a pressure fluctuation, a temperature issue, or even a software glitch. Walk them through how you tackled it, how you spotted the problem, what tools or resources you used, did you consult manuals or colleagues? And of course, don't forget the outcome.
Showing you can think on your feet and actually solve problems, that's huge. Okay, on to another big one. How do you maintain quality control while operating hydrogenation machines?
This one really gets at whether you see the bigger picture of food production. It's not just about keeping the machine humming, it's about making sure the final product meets those strict quality and safety standards.
And the RoleCatcher Guide really dives into this. It talks about testing procedures, inspections, and even the importance of HACCP certification. That's hazard analysis and critical control points, right?
You got it. Knowing about HACCP and how it applies to the job is super important. It shows you're aware of potential hazards and that you're proactively trying to prevent them. You're not just pushing buttons, you're invested in the integrity of the whole process.
Exactly. And speaking of the whole process, let's talk about efficiency. A common question you might get is, how do you ensure the efficient use of resources during hydrogenation machine operations?
Efficiency, everyone's favorite topic, especially when it comes to saving time and money. True, but it's not just about speed. It's about understanding that balance between getting things done efficiently while still maintaining safety and quality. You can't cut corners on safety to save a few minutes, right?
No way.
Yeah.
So how do you strike that balance? What kind of examples should you have up your sleeve?
Think about those times you found ways to streamline things without compromising on safety or quality. Maybe you identified a bottleneck in the workflow and proposed a solution. Or found a way to reduce waste.
And I bet RoleCatcher can help with this too.
You bet. Their AI can actually let you practice answering this question and then give you feedback on how well you articulate your efficiency know-how.
Very cool. Okay, let's shift gears a bit and talk about the tech side of things. I'm guessing knowing how to read blueprints and technical specs is pretty crucial.
Absolutely. They'll probably ask something like, How do you interpret and follow technical specifications and blueprints for hydrogenation machines?
Seems pretty straightforward. But I'm guessing there's more to it than just saying, yep, I can read those.
You got it. It's about showing them you're all about the details, that you can take that technical info and translate it into action.
So how do you get that across in your answer?
Think of a specific time you had to really carefully follow a set of complex instructions or figure out a technical diagram.
Yeah.
Maybe you had to set up a new piece of equipment or troubleshoot a problem using a schematic. Highlight how you followed those procedures, how you spotted any discrepancies, and how you made sure your work was super precise.
That makes sense. Now, what about software? I imagine there's some serious tech involved in running these machines.
Oh, absolutely. These days, lots of modern hydrogenation plants use what's called a SCADA system. That stands for Supervisory Control and Data Acquisition. It's all about monitoring and controlling the process.
SCADA sounds intense.
It's high-tech stuff, but even if you haven't worked with SCADA directly, being familiar with similar industrial control systems is a big plus.
So if you've got any experience with automation, software, process visualization tools, even data analysis from a past role, definitely bring it up.
Exactly. Showing you're adaptable and eager to learn new tech, that's gold. And speaking of working together...
Teamwork.
Exactly. Because hydrogenation machine operators, they're not just working in a bubble, they're part of a team.
So true. Which brings us to communication. How do you showcase those skills when they hit you with something like how do you communicate with your team and other stakeholders during hydrogenation machine operations?
This is your time to shine as a team player.
Okay.
Think about specific situations where clear communication was mission critical.
Like if you had to explain a technical issue to a coworker or relay important information to a supervisor?
Exactly. Or maybe you had to work with someone who wasn't as familiar with all the technical jargon, someone from a different department.
I've been there.
The key is to show you can make complex things easy to understand. That's a seriously valuable skill. And don't underestimate active listening. Being a good listener is just as crucial as being a clear communicator.
Totally.
Now, here's a question that can be tricky. How do you prioritize competing demands and deadlines during hydrogenation machine operations? It feels like a recipe for stress.
It's all about staying calm under pressure and making smart decisions even when things get hectic.
Easier said than done.
Well, RoleCatcher to the rescue again. They've got this amazing feature that lets you simulate that exact scenario. Their AI will throw those competing demands at you just like in a real interview.
Yeah.
And then it gives you feedback on how well you prioritize and respond.
That's amazing. It's like having a practice run before the big game. All right, next question. How do you stay up to date with the latest developments and trends in hydrogenation machine operations? It's a fast-paced field. Got to stay sharp.
You got it. Think about how you keep your knowledge fresh. Do you subscribe to any industry magazines?
There are some good ones out there.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Like food engineering or chemical processing. Those are classics. Or maybe you attend webinars or conferences.
What about online forums and communities? There's so much out there these days. So true. The point is to show you're curious and you're actively seeking out new knowledge. And don't be afraid to mention specific areas you're interested in, like advancements in automation or sustainable practices. It shows you're really paying attention.
Love that.
Yeah.
Okay, now here's a question that might seem a little unexpected, especially for a non-management role. What leadership experience do you have in managing a team of hydrogenation machine operators?
The leadership question. It's a classic. Even if you haven't had a formal leadership title, they're looking for those leadership qualities.
So what kind of examples could someone in an operator role give? What are they looking for?
Think about times you took charge. Maybe you mentored a new colleague, or came up with a process improvement that helped the whole team.
Or maybe you volunteered for a tough task, or stepped up when things got crazy.
Exactly. Those are all examples of leadership. And if you're not one to brag, which is totally understandable, RoleCatcher has this really cool video practice tool.
Oh yeah, I've heard about this.
It's awesome. You can record yourself answering these tough questions, and their AI will actually give you feedback on how you're coming across, your delivery, your body language. It'll help you project that leadership confidence, even if you don't feel 100% confident yet.
It's like having your own personal coach.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, we've covered a ton of ground today, from safety and troubleshooting to technical skills, communication leadership, even staying ahead of the curve.
And we've seen how RoleCatcher can be your secret weapon throughout this whole process, from understanding the job description and tailoring your resume to practicing your answers and getting feedback from their AI.
Seriously, it's like having a leg up on the competition.
Yeah.
But you know what? Beyond all the prep and the fancy tools, the one thing that can really make you shine is enthusiasm.
100%.
That genuine passion for the work, let your love for the world of hydrogenation, those awesome machines and the important role they play really shine through.
That's what's going to make
I'll
you
go with that.
memorable. That's what's going to make you stand out.
Exactly. So to our listeners out there getting ready for your big interview, remember you got this. Prepare well, let your enthusiasm shine, and go land that dream job.
Good luck. We're rooting for you.